What's up, YouTube? What's up, Apple Podcasts? What's up, Buzzsprout? What's up to everyone listening from wherever you're listening from? I am recording a video, but this audio will be available as well. So thank you, whether you're tuned in or you are listening, watching, smoke signals, braille, telekinesis, however you're hearing my voice right now, thank you for showing up. My name is Robert Alexander. I am a nearly 15-year hair professional. My anniversary is December 4th. I'm very excited for that. And this is becoming a 5-star stylist. This podcast was created to shift the mentality of new and existing hairstylists to understand that being a hairstylist can be treated as a business and not just a gig. It can be a key to autonomy and freedom and not just a means of survival. And in today's episode, I want to talk about the importance of boundaries and the many reasons that boundaries are so important. Being a hairstylist is one of the most interpersonal jobs that we'll have as far as customers and service providers. We spend hours at a time with our clients, and oftentimes it begins to feel very friendly. And when we get to begin feeling more friendly with our clients, oftentimes we start to negate the importance of maintaining that professional boundary because, oh, that's my homegirl. Yeah, it's okay. Bring your kids. It's okay if you're running late. It's okay if you don't have the money this week. If you're okay with those things, truly fine, sure. However, I believe that in all relationships, whether it's a professional, platonic, romantic, etc., how you start is how you finish. And in my many, many years of being a hair professional, I have learned and decided that it is important to be firm, to be assertive, to be fully aware of how you portray yourself. Because if you come off as someone who will accept anything from anybody, that is how you are treated. Again, this is across all relationships. And I don't want this to be confused with having to be tough or hard or rigid, because as a man dealing with a client base of women, I could never in my life be rude or harsh or aggressive towards a woman. That's just not in my nature. Even if the energy was coming my way, I would fire you as a client before I ever argue with you. But that being said, there have been many times throughout my career where I felt so exhausted and honestly fell completely out of love with doing hair. And in another episode, I'm going to talk about how everything is our faults. And that's going to definitely shake the table. But it's important to be accountable for the dynamics that are set, whether it comes to styles that you perform, whether it comes down to the finish that you provide, the services that you offer, the way that your day runs. You are accountable for all of those things. And with that being said, I remember vividly in about 2017, I was driving and I was just thinking to myself, I hate what I'm doing right now. And that was about, I don't know, 7 or 8 years into my career. And I had not yet adopted the mentality of or the knowledge that I am fully responsible and able to do whatever I want. And so I still had the mindset of taking whatever I could get. And oftentimes that meant doing styles that I was not good at, doing styles I did not enjoy, doing styles that I did not love, and accepting clients that were not a compatible match for me. And I think it's very important as a hairstylist to assess all of those things. And if you need to rewind it and look at that list again, please do so and make sure that you align fully with the service that you provide. There comes a time in life where we have to realize that in order to give our best to anyone else, again, across all relationships, we have to be at our best. And as long as we continue to allow life to happen to us versus determining and deciding what we want our life to look like, um, we'll take whatever we can get. And I think that it's just so important to understand that, yes, we are service providers in the hair industry, but I think that, at least for myself, the way that I operated and conducted business is also the way that I went through life. And so as I began to be more assertive and more direct in my personal life, my professional life reflected that as well. So in my program, the 5-star stylist, which is linked below, and if I learn how, I will even put a box here for you to click. I talk about the importance of getting online. So there are still stylists who are old school, write in their services, and that's fine. However, what I'm speaking to right now, I think that everyone should get their services online because it's so much easier to manage your time blocks once you're online. But the reason that I say so is because once you get a great idea of how long each service takes, then you're able to sort your day out in a way that no one's waiting. You know exactly how long it's going to take to do this service. And I have an entire formula for figuring out what you make an hour, determining worst case scenario, how long a service should take so that you're never more than 15 minutes, 30 minutes at most behind, because as a hairstylist, you know that it's a domino effect. If the first person is late, the whole day can be thrown off unless there's some grace in there. So that's just one of many things that I speak to in the program. And even that is a boundary. And there comes a time where you can decide to perhaps prioritize other clients and squeeze them in, but you have to be structured at the foundation in order to do so. Otherwise, it throws off the entire day and the experience for all of your other clients. And perhaps you have VIPs, but that treating your VIPs should never be at the expense of your other client bases, because at your client base, because they could be potential VIPs in the future as well. And that's not a healthy, or what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word right now, but that's just not the way you want to go. Another great reason for you to have structure in your schedule, to have the boundary of no, I am no longer available, is that you can then market, um oh, what is the word I'm looking for? I don't know where my mind is today, but once you determine, for example, I work Wednesday through Saturday, I have time slots and I am firm on my boundaries for as long as I work, how early I'll come in, how late I'll stay. And a tip for you all is, once you begin to implement structure in that way and you have a mutual respect with your client base, you can then begin to market your after hours for a surcharge, for an upcharge. And there's nothing wrong with that. We are not saving lives as hairstylists. So if someone wants to come in after hours, you can provide that service and just calmly help them understand that it's going to cost them money. These are just small ways to make sure that you feel good about the work that you do, because I'll just be honest, you need your hair done at 9 o'clock at night, not me. So if you want to get your hair done, you want my 9 p.m. time where I'm supposed to be on the couch eating Chinese and watching Love is Blind, you have to pay for that. You have to pay for that. And once upon a time, the thought of that made me uncomfortable. It put all these negative labels of I'm being greedy, I'm being inconsiderate. For whatever reason, my mind framed it as a negative, instead of I am being a good businessman and I am maintaining my happiness in this industry. Once upon a time, I would just, oh, you can't get in until 7 p.m., even though I've been here since 8 a.m. All right, I'll just wait for you, even though my last comes at 4 and she's only an hour. I'll just sit around and twiddle my thumbs for 2 hours until you get here. Oh, you're running late? No big deal. I don't have a life. No. And it took me to sit through those types of scenarios for me to stop and think to myself, how can I make this better? I have a lot of clients who are in corporate, and corporate work is not easy work, especially being a black woman in a pretty much white male dominated space. There are several things to navigate in that, but that's not this podcast. With that being said, I remember a client once saying to me, "Oh, I'm just tired of this type of work. I'm exhausted." And I said, "Girl, me too." And I had to think to myself, wait a minute, why am I tired of what I do? No one tells me what to do. I do it how I want to do it. I determine the hours, the prices, the duration, everything. It's all on me. And that's what I was stating earlier. There is no one to blame for how you love your job but you. Specifically to hairstylists, service providers, so nail techs, barbers, estheticians, techs, etc. We have the power to determine exactly how our days as hairstylists go. And it's much easier said than done. Don't get me wrong, I am fully aware of that because I've been in a space where I felt like I had no control. And that is why I am so passionate about my program, the 5-Star Stylist. Because had I had the guidelines, if I even had it as a resource, perhaps it would have shown me more of how to implement business in a way that left me guilt-free much sooner. And I think that our jobs as the vets, whether it be in music production, hairstyling, architecture, medicine, we are here so that the next generation can be 10 times as good as us. And I remember a time where younger stylists started coming up and I started sweating and I'm like, no, they're supposed to be better than me. That's the whole point of it. And that's where I am as a hairstylist. So with that being said, if you're interested, the program is free. SKOOL.com/5-star-stylist. It'll be linked below. If you've made it this far in the video, comment a pair of shears, not scissors, shears. Comment a pair of shears just so that I know that people are making it this far in the video. And if you'd like, comment some things that you would love to get feedback on. And if you want to have a more in-depth conversation, for the time being, I am doing stylist strategy sessions complimentary on the 5-Star Stylist program on school.com, where you get 15 minutes to talk about a predetermined topic to get the ball rolling for you as a stylist. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. And if you're listening, thank you so much. Please subscribe. And if you would, give me a 5-star rating. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.